Hello and welcome to video number 8 in Embolden's video tutorial project. In this video, we'll be talking about the basic blocks of your content, so paragraphs, headers, lists, things like that. We're going to be working in the RadEditor, which we introduced last time. I happen to have mine maximized, and I am working in IE8 in compatibility mode. So if your configuration is a little different, again, your screen might look slightly different than mine, and things might work a little bit differently. But to start, I'm just going to start typing. So every page certainly wants to have a headline at the top, and then you probably have a couple paragraphs. Paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and then you might have a list somewhere in there. So list item 1, list item 2, list item 3. As you can see, as I'm typing, these are all just put in as regular paragraphs. Part of the definition of a paragraph is that it has extra space around it. If I'm in a paragraph and I hit return, I automatically get a new paragraph. I do not hit return twice, which is a habit most of us are used to doing in email or in other text editors or word processors, hitting return twice to create that extra space in between paragraphs. Because that space is already defined for you, if you hit return twice, you get way too much space in here, and that's generally not the effect you're going for. It doesn't look good. So I have my paragraphs here. If I want to make this first thing be a headline, an actual header instead of a paragraph, I can just click right in here and change the paragraph type from normal paragraph to header. If you notice, I'm just clicked in. I'm not selecting the whole thing, and I'll get into why I do that in a later video. But I just click in here, and this first drop down is your paragraph styles. So right now it's a normal paragraph. I can just choose heading 1. You have a few different styles defined, so I can switch between them. I can choose to make this heading 3, heading 2. So you have your basic H1, H2, H3, H4 subheads, header and subheads, and then you have some other things that are built into the system but that have not been styled for you if you're an Embolden client. We never style menu list, for example, or address. So generally you don't want to use these if you're an Embolden client at least. The top of every page wants to have one header 1. You should never have multiple header 1s on the page. You're generally going to want to have one at the top of the page. Anything below that should be a subhead, either an H2 or an H3 or an H4, depending on where that header falls in the hierarchy of information on your page. Down here, to change these from regular paragraphs into list items, we can just select them, choose numbered list, choose bulleted list. This works like every single word processor you've ever used for the past 10 years. So we don't need to go into too much detail there. If I'm in a paragraph and I hit return, I automatically get a new paragraph. If I'm in a list item and hit return, I automatically get a new list item. So this is, again, things that you would be very used to from working with any other word processor or most other WYSIWYG editors in existence. If I wanted to make this headline be a normal paragraph again, I can. If I wanted to make, for example, this be a subhead over paragraph 3, I can just click in here and make this be a subhead, heading 2, which is the correct thing you want to do. A lot of people will want to, because again, this is how we're used to working in Word, we're used to kind of manually just bolding something and calling it a subhead rather than actually having a subhead style. So a lot of times, rather than making this be an actual subhead, people will want to do this, have it be kind of part of the same paragraph and just bold it. And that's not something you generally want to do for a whole host of reasons, mainly that this isn't the subhead style that has been designed for you and integrated for you. So that's the basics of creating headers, creating paragraphs, creating list items. Up in the next video, we're going to talk about really quickly how to just add a hard return rather than a whole new paragraph or a whole new bullet.